The All Blacks have been having a hard time finding a coach, but they have found one, and he's a Pacific Islander, which is a good news for us. What are your thoughts about Dave Rennie?
Dave Rennie, I have fond memories of Dave Rennie when I first played for Wellington. As a young 20-year-old coming into the Wellington team, Dave Rennie was in the team and he was one of the senior members. Was a great a team man, all about culture, looked after us young players, and I have fond memories of him. And to see him get the big job of the All Black coach, I'm so proud of him. Not only has he worked hard through all the teams he's coached around the world, he's gained the experience, and now he's come back and he's got the big job here of the All Blacks, and I'm so proud of him.
How big is it of a deal that we have a Pacific Islander All Blacks coach?
Wow, this is beyond our belief. Who would have thought that we would ever have a Pacific Islander, albeit a proud Cook Island man, Cook Island Māori man, that is now the All Black coach. And I think he deserved it. He's worked so hard for it. And I think that all his hard work has paid off. But to be the first All Black head coach as a Pacific Islander is certainly a day to remember.
So Dave Rennie is now the head coach. He's got to get his team together. Who do you think would be a good assistant coach?
Well, this is his time to look at what's there at the moment. So he has Scott Hansen and Jason Ryan, who are the two assistant coaches that have not been let go. But I think it's time for Dave to come in and see how his team fits. Now, amongst them could potentially be Jamie Joseph, who missed out on the other head coach role. That might be a long shot, but then he also has his team when he had won the Super Rugby back in 10 years ago, and he has his team of people that he trusts. But I think the key important thing that he said in his interview is about the team culture. And so therefore he'll get the right people around him that will build that team culture in the same time as building a great game plan for the All Blacks. But this is going to be interesting to see. I would like to see him ask Stephen Larkin from Australia Brumbies. He hasn't been picked up by anybody. I think that he'll be a great appointment for Dave Rennie to have him as the All Black assistant coach running the backs attack. And as you see the Brumbies, the way they're playing at the moment, I think he'll be a great asset to New Zealand rugby.
Speaking about the Brumbies, they've had a pretty good, strong start to the year. Do we see a better and much stronger Wallabies team?
I think New Zealand have to be mindful of this Australian team that's coming up. The Brumbies are playing great rugby. The Reds are playing good rugby. And the Waratahs, yes, the Western Force, they've got some good players in there, even though the results haven't been in their favour. But I think if you put all those main players together for the Wallabies, I think they are going to take the Bledisloe Cup off the All Blacks this year. Doesn't mean that they'll win the World Cup, but I think that they are coming together nicely. All their individuals are playing strong rugby, and also I think they are at the stage where I think they are going to really challenge. They have that self-belief that they're going to challenge the All Blacks very hard this year in 2026.
So Dave Rennie has culture, he's got a lot of good people around him, but what style of play will he bring to the All Blacks?
Well, I think if we go back 10 years ago when the Chiefs had won the Super Rugby back-to-back, one of the key things that he had strong forwards, strong leaders, very tough up front, but also had backs that had good expression, and they were very innovative in terms of the way that they played their back play. So it wasn't just through the back line just to set up phases. He did have some really good moves that manipulated other opposition, and that was the key with people like Sonny Bill Williams there in the midfield. He was charging not only on the attack, but he had a very strong defensive mindset. So I think that has been a hallmark of Dave Rennie throughout where he's gone, whether it's Australia or over in the UK, even in Japan. But I think that he'll bring that back, which is really fundamentally a lot of strong New Zealand rugby players based off strong forward play and really good innovative back play.
Do you think Dave Rennie's coaching experience in Australia has kind of prepared him for this role with the All Blacks?
Yes, I think that time for Dave Rennie in Australia, wasn't really good for him. He was just prepared to go to the 2023 World Cup, and then he was taken out of his role, and Eddie Jones had taken over from him, and so that would have been a tough time for him. However, a lot of players during that time have spoken quite highly of Dave Rennie and the way they have grown as rugby players, not only as humans but also on the field and their understanding of the game. And so they a glowing endorsement for his time and with Australia, and that was Quade Cooper made quite a nice statement on Twitter. So I think that he's ready for this now. I think he's been away from New Zealand for 10 years and come back a more rounded coach, but he's also very hardened for it too. So I think that we'll probably get the best of Dave